did an anime based on a popular manga 2 years prior its release date, and stacking up a team of big names generates expectations from fans. But in most cases, results ends up being a disappointment. One such case is Solo Leveling. Now, before I dive in for my reasoning, let me give you a simple idea about what Solo Leveling is about. The story revolves around Sun Jinwoo, a young man who became a hunter in order to put food on the table. After his father went to buy milk in a rift and never coming back, and his mother interacts in an incurable disease and go into coma, leaving him alone with his little sister. However, Sun Jinwoo was branded the world's weakest hunter because he was the weakest A rank in the world. But that all changes one day after he escaped a sure death situation and acquiring the ability to level up. How far can Jinwoo go? And will he be able to cure his mother's disease? You need to watch to find out. Now we'll talk about what needs to be improved. First of all, the first episode wasn't up to par because everyone came anticipating after 2 years of hype to have an insane episode with big impacts. But sadly they didn't receive that. Secondly, they keep pushing future arcs as if they are the most important arcs of the story, while they are not, in fact, even close to that. And lastly, they invited big composers and they made shit songs. And overall, the story wasn't as near home as it should be because compared, for example, with the manhwa, it felt way too distant and way too irrelevant, and it's just like some copy-paste formula, which is a little bit disappointing. Overall, if I will give it a rating out of 10, I will give it a 3. It has so much room of improvement, and for example, if we are going to talk about some improvements, first of all, the first episode needs at least 40 minutes, and in these 40 minutes they need to at least finish the first part of the story, which is the trials of the god. And second of all, the character didn't show the same level of desperation in the manhwa in the anime. They need to show the level of desperation, the fear of death, and how he tried to grind himself, how he started lamenting his allies after leaving him. Secondly, the ant arc wasn't that important in the start, so they would be better off focusing on the main plot instead of on an ant arc that will end up too anticlimactic anyway. And finally, if they work on a good song, that will be a plus, but overall at least make it a mid, not a trash one. So yeah, compared to the manhwa had a better pace, and the story was unique by the time it was released. It had many points that can be replicated, but at least they made something that the moment you start thinking about ranking, leveling up, and etc., you start thinking about Solo Leveling. And overall, I will give it probably 5 out of 10 because it also can be improved way more, but generally it was good. So that's it, and see you in the next one.